So here we go, adding in some more photos. We've got a couple of 2 photo spreads, which is quite nice. Some of them I had as one. So here we go. Here I was stamping using the pad, but I actually decided to do something a little bit different here, and I punched through the paper as well as doing some stamping, and I really wanted to show you how I did this. So I just kind of was eyeing it up really. I didn't want it to look perfect. That was kind of the point. I don't like perfect lines. I'm all about making it imperfect. So you can see that was the stamping set that I'm using, all from our Spring Summer collection. So I'm just getting out the matching stamp pads to this collection as well. So the Coastal Cabana and the the names escape me for the brown one. I will come back and let you know. So just stamping the triangles down there to get that right. Here we go, just stamping them down. So you can see I am actually using the stamping pad this time, and it just works so much better. So put it behind the paper. This was kind of what I was talking about earlier on that I recommend doing. But you can create some quite fun things with a mixture of punches and stamps, and I just think it works really nicely, and it's nice to have things like this in the background where the photo still becomes the main focal point, but there is some sort of something going on there to draw your eye in. I think it's kind of cute to be able to do that. So just pop that down there. There we go. So you can see I do like to use apps on top of my photos to create some fun wording on top. There's a number of different ones that I use, and you can get some great information out there on the best ones to use. So just stamping on top here. So what I should have done here was pull the page out and have it flat and kind of push all the background over onto the right hand side, if I've explained that properly. The stamp as it happens came out pretty good, but I kind of tried to be clever and didn't actually think it through very well. So just adding in some extra pieces of chipboard, and then I decided I'm going to back that piece there to make sure, because I felt that the pattern on the right on this double spread wasn't showing through very well, and I quite liked it coming through a little bit better here. So here we go, again keeping this one simple because I've had a little bit more of a busy page previously with those punches and everything, and then obviously the page next to it was fairly busy as well. So this one I kept really simple, and that's what I love about this whole collection is it really helps you tie it all together, and you can make your mini album, your scrapbook page, your card, whatever it is you're creating, your journal if you're using this, as busy or as simple as you like, and I'm a big fan of mixing it all up, and so I love that you can do either with this one here. I do love adding in the washi tape, and you're going to see I completely get the lines wrong and I cannot get it straight, so I end up using our fabulous pad of paper here to help get it right, and I did it here and I didn't line it up properly, so this was my fault. You can see here it's not straight, and I realised, so we're going to pull it off and start again. There we go, just pulling it off. So I'm going to put the photo where I can more easily keep the photo straight, and then use that. It's also good to help when you're cutting, get your measurements right and things like that, and it comes in a massive block of absolutely tons of them, and I just rip a whole new piece of paper every time I do a new project, and it means I can practice stamp on it as well, which I find really helpful, just to make sure the ink's taken. You saw me do that at the beginning a little bit, so I do that quite regularly sometimes as well, so I just find that it helps. So again, yet more stamping on the chipboard here. I just think it's a nice way of doing it. And again, I used the stays on when I did the black. I of course didn't ink up my stamp properly with the stays on. You do need to give it a few extra kind of oomphiness, but as I previously said, I'm not striving for perfection, so I kind of like it when it's a little bit higgledy-piggledy. So I'm just going to fussy cut out the happy birthday here. I'm not the best fussy cutter. I don't have enough patience to get it perfect, but as I literally just said, we know I'm not a big fan of perfection. I just like it looking how I like it, so there we go. I like that. That looks good. So I'm kind of like, I want to play with the circles. I'm like, how am I going to play with them? And I literally spent ages kind of playing. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I wanted to use these chipboard pieces, and then I decided I didn't want to use the one on the top right there that's all pinked around the edges. So I got the 3 plain ones, and then I was like, well, what if I punched holes in some of these circles? How cool would that be? So I did it on the left and the right, and oh my goodness me, I love it. Really, really fun. Just kind of makes it my own. I really love this. And then this works beautifully, and I ended up sticking it down just a little bit differently, which you're going to see in a second. But again, so we've got a different technique here which I'm going to use. Now, if you are doing this, something I didn't do was really double check that that washi was really down tight. So I really recommend really make sure that this is down tight. And I'm just going to show you a cool kind of masking technique. And I just used some white paint on here. But you're going to see, well, a couple of different things. So I'm just layering it, putting down the washi tape to use as a mask. So we've got gesso first. I do recommend having a layer of gesso on top of your wood chips before you then colour it, because that means otherwise any colour would really just soak in, and it doesn't kind of get as bold, whereas using this first it's going to keep the colour really, really strong and bold. So just a nice layer of gesso first, which you can see I'm doing. And as I said, really make sure that that washi tape is really stuck down on the wood chip pieces. I kind of perhaps didn't take so much care. I've done this quite a few times, and perhaps, I don't know, got a bit cocky, maybe that's what I went. I was like, meh. But please do that. So you can see I'm actually going to colour them. I thought I was using white paint, I used a gesso. So I just got my water brush and pooled my water in the top there. So I pulled my ink in the top there. The other thing you could do, of course, is use a marker, one of our Stampin' Up! Right markers. I've got a load of those as well, but I wanted to try it with the water, so it wasn't as bold. Well, I wanted it bold from the gesso, but I wanted it to have that kind of watercolory look. But you're going to see that some of the ink got behind the bits of washi, and that's what I mean when I say about really making sure that's firmly stuck down. You're going to see there just at the top there's just a little smidge. It's not a big deal for me because as I have said a million times now, I'm not a big fan of perfection, not something I'm striving for. So, but you may prefer to have it dead straight, so that's what I would recommend doing. Really make sure that washi's stuck down. I kind of just put it on, I didn't really push in all places. But I just think this looks really cool. And definitely having the gesso underneath helped get the colour right. And I'm actually going to stamp also using that roller stamp in those spaces that have kept the plain pieces of chipboard. So here's the stamp, so I'm just making sure it kind of fits okay. And this is all a little bit about kind of trial and error and getting it right, and you may end up having a few little pieces that aren't perfect or aren't exactly what you want. Oh, excuse my head there. It does take a while to get it right, but I love that. Ah, so cute. That ends up being my favourite, the hearts. Definitely my favourite. But then I'm a big fan of hearts. A heart motif could go anywhere, in my opinion, on any page, on any card. If it's got hearts on it, I'm going to be able to use it. Definitely works well for me. So that's why that's my favourite. So just going to get this one and stamp on here as well. So excuse the top of my head, I kind of had moved where I was drafting. So you can see this one doesn't come out quite so perfectly, but that's good for me, I don't mind. Here we go. Don't they just look cute, especially with the punched holes? And I love that you can see on the left hand side the background paper from the previous page coming through. Oh, I love it. So leaving that space on the left to be able to journal if I want to add it later on was what I was originally thinking, and then I think, oh, I think I'm going to add, here we go, and just a really cool piece of one of these journaling cards. I think that works really well. So continuing my birthday, so we've got to June. As I said, this is the whole of my 2013. My birthday's in the middle of June, so smack bam in the middle of the year. So we're just about halfway through the album here. But the rest of the album, I did end up going a little bit more simpler. I found I did most of the kind of more heavy techniques earlier on. I also think I took a few more photos earlier on in the year. I did take a lot in the summer though. just adding. I do love arrows. That's another thing you can use a lot of, is arrows, to point to things, to draw your eye in that direction. And you can see I painted with the gesso again, and then I went on top with white paint with that little kind of pennant banner, I'm not sure the right word, there, on the previous page. I didn't want to show doing that again because I'd just pretty much done the same thing, so I thought that would be a bit time consuming for you guys. So having, as I said, a couple of simple pages because we've had a few heavier pages, so I ended up deciding I just wanted to use that one as a border. I really love this card, and I end up just can't quite decide where to use it, because you know when something's just perfect and you're like, oh, I don't know what to use it because I love it. Yeah, that's what I had with that card. So again, I love this favourite tab. I love being able to use it kind of behind as a layer. There we go. All stuck down. Definitely need something just to cover up that little corner piece. My lovely Mabel, that's my dog, as I'm sure I said a minute ago, you see her loads in the album. So we are getting close to the end. You're going to see the pictures moving away from summer style and more towards winter style. This is my sister and one of her best friends on the right hand side here. Ah, my head! I thought I'd cut all the bits where my head got really big out, but it appears not, so I apologise for this. Sticking down there. There we go. My husband playing around being a fool. We're in October here, so we jumped from June to October pretty quick. We went on a trip to Berlin, so was just mucking about. And I do like using these journaling cards as kind of layering up as well. I'm calling them journaling cards. Yeah, that's their name. So, and I do like these square ones just kind of in the middle there. And doesn't that look cute with a little bit of layering? Very cute. And you can see I stamped here again on top of the chipboard piece, one of my favourite things to do. So we are just about finishing up. I'm afraid the final page was cut off, that was a picture of Christmas, but you can see a couple of close-ups here of the finished album. Thank you so much for being here with me today. It's been lovely to have you, and I hope to see you soon at craftwithkat.com. Thank you very much.